Hello everyone, this is Ethan Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. As you can see, even though we had both the offense and defense mythic this week, we were unsuccessful in staying in vault this week. Reasons why will be covered shortly. Long story short, we ended up losing an entire double match on offense, which did not help, and we also had a few unit sacks throughout the season. On offense, I decided to use try out Legendary Julia again versus using Legendary Chrom. And well, she did fine this week. There was plenty of dragons we needed to slay, and she definitely helped out with that. But she was not able to hit and turn in front of some of the higher powered mages, particularly dual Corins and Harmonized Lysithias, who just, especially Harmonized Lysithia with one cooldown Moonbow, of course because of her weapon, and also because of her weapon, can attack twice because we're not fast enough on Legendary Julia to prevent a natural double or just the brave weapon effect. So unfortunately for us, we got absolutely wrecked in a match where I was planning to have Regan face tank a shot from Harmonized Lysithia, and well, she did manage to do that. The problem was, I forgot that there's this thing called Bright Shrine, I'm pretty sure. So I was under the assumption that I was going to proc on Legendary Julia, so I miscalculated speed, which resulted in Regan getting doubled, and so obviously Regan didn't survive that. And everything went downhill from there, and we ended up losing the match. But moving on to the next replay here. And I already neglected to mention it, but we are using one of the newer defense maps here. Of course, we're goofballing with the setup. Although with Legendary Azura, it is slightly more scary, but not really. Most people are just still using the same strats against the general idea of this layout. With this particular layout, if someone brings Elamine, they can't prevent field buffs from getting onto Ascended Ley Yarn, except if they had their Panic Manor on her. Because we have both Prayer Wheel and Fine and Hone Cav on Odor, so Elamine can't meme us over that way, but really doesn't matter too much here. Brave Erica, of course, not going to be able to handle the massive Ignis from Arden, so we're gonna get wiped there. But overall on offense, pretty similar themes, and as you can see there, Ascended Ley Yarn gets danced by Legendary Azura, so she's absolutely stacked on her weapon, maxed out on stats. And we also have ground orders on Legendary Azura, just so Legendary Chrom can do some funny things with Change Fate potentially. But here we have Brave Hector, unable to one-shot Ascended Ley Yarn because he doesn't have Bonfire ready to go. But it doesn't matter there. KO. Odor, of course, is just going to get absolutely walled by Arden, and probably also blown up by Ignis. I should probably build Arden, to be honest, but yeah. Legendary Azura, of course, post-refine and remix can be more offensive than she used to be, which is a detriment on defense, but I didn't care because we're goofballing, so. Legendary Chrom, of course, terrible matchup against Brave Hector. Wouldn't even have picked up the kill if we had Deadeye there, so pretty clean sweep for them at this point. Let's see if they go after the Ether structures or if they just decide to match. With Duma being there, no armored boots, they should be able to comfortably go after the Ether structures, especially since they're not doing the Don't Activate Trams challenge. I decided to use a pretty uncreative line of traps just because why not? This defense is not engineered to be that great. It just has some basic shenanigan traps. If people fall for, then cool. If not, then it should be generally an easy win for the opponent. Also set up things they can do, like cornering Legendary Azura is totally viable. But also leave Mirabilis alive just because, well, she's not that big of an offensive threat. Although she has bonus, so extra 4 attack. Don't think that ever matters, but here they're just using Flame to make sure they don't get Vantage memed on. Because Duma does have his special ready and a reasonable attack stat, so they don't want to mess with him. But honestly, for the first iteration of this defense layout, not too disappointed in how it turned out just because of how meme it was. We should definitely consider maybe, I don't know about pulling off a classic turn 1 trap because of the existence of safety fence. Plenty of people run it nowadays. And there's also, because especially with units like Yuri or any large Kanto shenanigans, doing a pick-off turn 1 is pretty straightforward. And the thing is, I could place a lot more structures to discourage that turn 1 pick-off shenanigan. But then the trade-off is then we're blocking our melee unit lanes to help in attacking, so then it would just purely be our ranged units against probably a far save unit or something of that nature. So, wouldn't be great for us. What's also not great for the enemy is Legendary Con coming into town thanks to Wings of Mercy, because a particular unit was not able to pick up the kill on Ascended Blade Guard. So, ripperonis. And of course, we wouldn't have this meme defense if it weren't for absolutely no Duo's Hindrance. So people are free to spam out their Duo and Harmonized heroes. Low merges across the board, aka all 0 merges besides Legendary Azura. But you don't need merged units to beat this defense at all, you just need decent play. You can't do absolutely nothing and expect to win against this defense with extremely low merge shenanigans unless you're doing specific strats. But you're gonna start out here by failing to 1-round KO Brave Erica. We're gonna proc the Bolt Traps. Now all of our units are super low on HP. Should be trivial kills, all of their units across the board. And here they surrender. Not entirely sure why they did the things the way they did, but you know, they have dual Lin, they still have Harmonized Azura, they have Legendary Azura. Pretty sure perhaps they wanted to corner Legendary Azura and didn't see the most straightforward way of doing it. So maybe that's what happened, I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, we get the win there, and haven't seen Brave Marianne in a while, so let's see what they do with her. I have not watched many of these replays because I was busy for most of this week, as you can tell probably by when we're recording the replays here, but also dead tired as well. That did not help our Equal Ray's offense experience. Lots of damage calcs were needed this week just because Legendary Julia picking up one-shots against HP inflation is pretty difficult. And she doesn't have the greatest speed for doubling, even though we are running attack speed from and whatnot. Speaking of speed though, I ended up getting a Brave Camilla pre-summon from the weekly revival banner, I believe it was. So I did give my Brave Veronica attack speed for 4 and restore. So if we want, we could maybe design a restore meme defense, but I don't think we're going to do that. Also just because it's pretty simple to deal with. Safety fence again exists, so unfortunately their Brave Hector is unable to one-shot us on the leg yarn, so this means our units can go to town, which is not good for them. Yeah, at this point, they just decide to surrender, I guess, here. Probably because they lost units. So yeah, I definitely would like more merges on my Astro Mystics. especially on probably Reagan at this point. Honestly, Reagan is not a great investment to plus 10 for me personally, just because she doesn't score too well in for general purposes. It would mostly be for ether raids, and I'm not sure if merging her is the greatest idea. Maybe it is, just for the extra bulk, attack and speed, and just everything in general, I guess. But here, Brave Erica is going to try to 1v1 Brave Hector. She survives the shots, of course, she's not running bonfire. But she's not going to one round KO either, because but she does survive. So Legendary Crom gets to go to town and pick up the one-shot on Leon, because of course he was never going to have a great matchup against Legendary Crom. And unfortunately, we have Meme set up our defense so that there's some meme shenanigans that go on, but of course legendaries are also do not dance. You can also see that I went absolutely all out with not really trying to do that well on this defense, because we're running attack speed push 4 on legendary Azura instead of Beetle flying 3, which would help out against budget Bride Fjorms, especially since Duma exists for that chip damage. Yeah, I did not care at all. We're just like, we're gonna go all out offensive on her. She does get a reasonable amount of attack to do a good amount of damage to red units, if not one-shotting her when they're KOing, so it totally doesn't hurt to do that, not at all. They're just going to use their safe defense and snipe down Brave Erica. We don't have to deal with her. But their units are also kind of in an awkward disarray. But they end up still deciding here to pick up the kill on Miraglow. Kind of interesting. I would have personally burned an extra turn or two just to get your other units set up to go for a massive push. They definitely have the stuff for it. Guess they decide to gamble on the bolt trap, I don't know, for damage. Duma, unfortunately, unable to one-shot Lyn. Feels bad, but what are you gonna do about it? Duma doing the Duma things. Thor, I guess that's another problem. Thor can't attack twice to get special down. That's a good use of Nudge, though, to fling units out of the way. Also good use of the duo skill there, because they had 4 of their units in range. And it looks like they're probably going to be making a Nudge play here and trapping Azura. And yep, they do. They decide to corner with Elamine, but they've also probably put this Nudge up as well. So just a clean win there. So it wasn't that big of a deal that they didn't spend more time to set up. Maybe that was set up because they did have, of course, dual peony on this lane. I don't know. The more I think about it, though, the more it seems like it was somewhat planned to a degree. I'm not sure about the HP planning, because of course there were variables like Duma and how much damage they would actually take from combats and whatnot for proccing and duo peony's duo skill. But here we are again with another pretty offensive team. They decide to not snipe anyone down turn 1, which I'm kind of surprised. Oh wait, there's catapult. Yeah, probably wouldn't want to do that then. Makes sense, makes sense. And now they can just go to town. Not like Duma's ever going to stand a chance when he's not in Vantage range. Kind of just been goofballing with Vantage Duma for a while now, just to see. I still feel like the Armor Suit's Gold Fighter set is generally better on Duma, just so he doesn't get left behind as the last unit standing or something from the opponent, and just walk around him because he only moves one space. So, and especially with a dancer and whatnot, it's pretty trivial to get past Duma when he's only moving one space. Looks like they're just going to go ham. I got that AoE special for some massive damage. So everyone's a trivial one-shot at this point except Legendary Zura because she just didn't get hit. But it doesn't matter because once again, it looks like we're going to just corner Legendary Zura, and Mirabilis is not going to be doing anything great here because she's up against Regan, who's definitely going to be one-run KO. Would be kind of surprised if Regan missed the kill there. And that should be easy cleanup. Really easy structures and whatnot. Looks like they're probably gonna farm SP here for dual Corin. Perfectly fine to do so. And speaking of which, I still need to level up mine. But there we go. I don't think that was SP farming. And here we have an interesting Slapdash team. I have no idea what this team is. Maybe it's just a bunch of nukes from the looks of it. And mythics. Okay, they have Tank and Libra. Libra's refine was okay. Not the greatest in the world, but a solid amount of debuffs at least. Would also like to see the res. I don't know at this point why Intelligent Systems bothers just not doing full-scale debuffs. If you're gonna debuff attack speed and defense, you might as well also debuff res. That also helps. It's more niche, of course, but it would help out in matches against, say, like Dragon Wall or whatnot. But unfortunately for them, Libra is too slow, and it looks like here to not get doubled from Deadeye's just an absolute great one. And now we can continue our shenanigans from the looks of it. Extendedly, Yarn just maxed out on power. Still can't one-shot Joshua because, well, damage reduction. But Luna's definitely gonna finish him off. And Duma does Duma things, of course. Are they gonna, let's see if they continue here. Don't really know if they can win at this point. Here, we'll see. Okay, pick up skill on Ascended Leg, that makes sense, but my Cynthia is still in range of Legendary Zura, and she actually is a bit more offensive. But let's see, there's damage reduction, so Cynthia probably can survive one shot, but yeah. She just gets doubled, which is not great for her. Moonbow's not doing an extra 60 damage, so that's definitely a one-round KO. Legendaries are actually can't kill for once. It was normally back in the day when Legendary Zero would go attack. It would be because she barely did more than 4 damage, aka 5 or more damage.
No.
So,
But how?
Altina, no chance against Legendary Tom. Definitely wasn't going to be two-shotting there. And there's the classic reposition Kanto meme. So definitely not really winnable at this point. Seems like towards the end of the season here we're getting quite a few matches. Of course, I don't really, that's not really any notable spoiler, but spoilers, lots of rematches. Not entirely sure why they have level 1 Plumeria here without any reciprocal aid. I guess Duma's going to help out in their cause, but I must be blind or something because I don't see how they get into escape range consistently. Looks like they decided to go ahead for the setup here. Easy kill on Brave Erica. And so now they know which Bolt Trap is real, so they can use it to their advantage. I guess it didn't matter at that point which Bolt Trap is real, but they proc Duma's Vantage, so kind of a problem there. They probably didn't read skills, so just assume, you know, it's just free bolt trap damage. Now it's just a clean sleep, because honestly it would be a clean sleep at this point. They have 2 more dances remaining and duo skills to use. It would have been a clean sweep, but Duma's got Vantage, and I don't know if any of their units can actually survive. So, awkward. That's one of the few instances where Vantage Duma actually does something. In practice, usually doesn't do anything. Alright. Got your save shenanigans, some damage reduction, and some buffs and debuffs. Seems fine. Let's see what they opt to do here. We might just hit end turn and cluster, which could end well or not end well, depending on how they position their units here. Looks like they're just gonna hit end turn. Seems fine. Got all the debuffs ready. Let's see what our Ascended Blade Yarn can do against Ascended Fiorm. Let's see if we get one shot here. Doesn't seem like we are going to get one shot here.
Disgrace
So we
leaves a
can proc
brand.
Luna, which goes into Ice Mirror, so not too much damage. But that's better than nothing. Another dance here. Legendary Crom goes to town. Ascended Fiorm, again, unable to double. She wouldn't have killed anyways, but... Ascended Leg Yarn, seeing that she couldn't kill Ascended Fiorm, unfortunately. Had to attack Altina, because better matchup in terms of damage. Exact lethal on Legendary Crom, totally not rigged. Wouldn't have mattered though. They have dancers and whatnot. At this point, they're pretty much in the clear. They just have to worry about Ascended Bethune getting screwed over, which I don't think is going to happen. Because as you can see, Oder is just using Hirsch Command everywhere, which means he's highly inclined to not actually do anything. And of course, Legendary Azura attacks because Ascended Fiorm fails to kill Legendary Azura. Just think about that. Triangle Adept blue unit. I know she's bonus, so you know, she wouldn't survive if she was bonus, but still. That's basically Ascended Fiorm in a nutshell right there.
Keep your eyes
Straight
on
up
me.
missing a kill on a Triangle Adept blue unit.
No longer alone.
Gosh. That's good. But yeah, Ascended Bethune just going to wall. Brave Erica. Damage reduction included. Duma's not going to stand a chance against Ascended Bethune. Just too much stance. So just an absolute massacre of Duma there. And at this point, there's nothing our team can do. Not like Oder is going to do anything relevant here. Actually, I don't know what's worse. Ascended Fiorm not. I guess to be fair, Legendary Zero did get attack speed from their remix, and we do have attack speed push block here. But still, that's pretty sad.
No longer alone.
Doesn't matter at the end of the day because they still wouldn't here. But unless they throw for some reason, which I'm pretty sure they're not going to do that. They just gotta go after the structures, and I always forget still that Elamine is a flyer, so we'll be able to pick up the Ether, Amphoray, for one round KO Mirrorless.
To protect the
Pretty
world.
solid there. Bonfire for absolute obliteration. Although it's only 26 extra damage. Interesting. And here we are again with more Brave Hector shenanigans. No Elamine on this team, but they do have Flame for the damage reduction. I don't like Ether here. Would more times than not, you're probably gonna want Bonfire or something to deal with. Or maybe like Deflect Magic if you want to do a little better against units like Duo Corian and whatnot, but yeah, Ether is just a little too slow. Not like even ignoring the Fatal Smoke shenanigans that some particular units brings to the table. I do feel like Bonfire is just better. Although here Ether does put in some work for the one round KO, barely. But Ascended Leg Yarn here against Sophia. No guard from Sophia, so on top of missing the kill here, we're gonna pick up the Luna, and that's most definitely killing, or not. What? How did Luna not kill it? I must have calculated wrong. I thought I would assume that Sophia would have more HP than, or more defense than that. Interesting. Oh wait, there's flame for the damage reduction.
I
Oh,
must
yeah.
find.
Okay, that makes more sense. Noon time for the kill there. Now out of range of flame. That seems pretty bad. Yep, 36 damage. No damage reduction now. Pepperonis. Now we can run around. Goofball. Legendary Zero doing 24 damage. Amazing. Yeah, attack speed push 400. Probably not a good choice of skill. Honestly, maybe we should try next time we have anima defense. Maybe try keeping Legendary Zero on defense. When it's water season, of course.
I don't
And
think
not
so.
cornering. We can also, of course, always pair up with Legendary Crom because if it's water season, then... Wait, I worded that wrong. What the point is, if we're gonna use Legendary Zerats during water season, which is also Legendary Crom time, so for most of the time. It would be nice if we had turn 1 Deadeye and Legendary Crom, but it's definitely non-trivial to set it up with a layout like this. And we can only really set it up like this, our defense like this, because Mirabilis is bonus.
Guide me.
So we can still run the triple mythic shenanigans, but what are you gonna do at the end of the day? Just getting walled here at this point. Looks like they're just going to take the match. I'd be surprised if they didn't surrender. It seems like they're just going to go for the win at this point. It's not like Doom is going to be doing anything here. Also coming up to turn 7, are they going to time out on accident? I don't think so. That would be very hard.
Pierce the sky,
Another Ether here. Kill. It's turn 7, so it's do or die. I don't think they're trying to pick up an Ether structure here. Yep, they're just gonna pick up the kill here. Going to survive thanks to the damage reduction from Flame and Rip Duma. At least Duma had enough attacks to do enough base damage to take out a share. Good enough for me.
Don't waste your
Because the
energy.
shares defense not that high. It's kind of sad to see Duma do that little damage, but only Duma things. And with that, overall did pretty solid on defense. Only ended up losing a whopping 30 lifts, so it was just all offense errors that really caused us to lose. And I don't think we're keeping top 6k, even though there's only about 30 minutes left. Most likely not keeping that. I was about to tap Summoner Duels again, but we've already seen Resonant Battles. Allegiance Battles, of course, now that Legendary Sheeta's a thing, that kicks us down more during water seasons, I would imagine. 2, 3, 4 right now. Not too shabby. Arena, I actually haven't checked yet. I bumped up my score to 3,870. Looks like that's more than enough to stay. Good. 3,862 got kicked out yesterday. As of that time yesterday, it was already demoting with that score, aka you need to score more, so definitely needed set to score 762s this week to stay, which is not too bad, given it was Legendary Sheeta bonus and water season. Arena Assault's pretty solid score again, but once again, Legendary Sheeta moment on scoring. So we did get to see some 768s and 766s this week. Honestly, pretty annoying because there were a lot of duo daggers, duo Crom plus Legendary Crom shenanigans, so there's also a random Ash this week. It's not even late season. Not entirely sure why she was there. But anyways, that is it for now. We'll be back when the results drop in. And that should be the end of the season here. Long overdue. Alright, just outside top 6k. It seems like that's the trend when we don't make vaults. We're just outside of top 6k, and it should be pretty trivial to get back in. Although air is no longer bonus, so things won't be as convenient. Let me just switch things out, what I forget. And yeah, probably check in Sophus just to score bots, but she won't function too well. And we'll use Legendary Crom, of course, for water season. Resonant battles here. I dropped interval 19 as expected. I actually didn't check arena before the end of the season, so most likely stayed in. And we do. Fantastic. Promptly dropping out next season. We'll have to check to see what the next pair of seasons is. If it's water season, we might consider trying to stay, but we'll get that. We'll figure that out when we get there. In the meantime, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!